Earlier this morning, the NYSE announced that NYSE Texas, a fully electronic equities exchange, has reached the milestone of 100 dual listings. NYSE Texas launched this past March as the first securities exchange to be incorporated in the Lone Star State. Since its launch, listings on NYSE Texas have a combined total market capitalization of over $2 trillion. The exchange lists operating companies, closed-end funds, and ETFs from a broad cross-section of the market, and 11 industries, including tech, consumer discretionary, and energy. In a statement, NYSE President Lynn Martin said, quote, "Achieving this milestone on NYSE Texas reflects the demand for the NYSE's best-in-class offerings in the pro-business environment fostered by Governor Abbott in the Lone Star State," end quote. NYSE Texas President Brian Daniel added, quote, "We have worked tirelessly to support the needs of our listed community, and we will continue to do so as we build an enduring presence in Texas." It's something that Daniel elaborated on during a recent episode of the Inside the Ice House podcast with Lance Glynn. Take a listen.
Well, I mean, what it really represents is kind of it's the natural sort of movement of business in Texas. Texas, for 20 years now, has really been focused on establishing a solid business community in the state, which is going to create a lot of jobs, I think is really the driver behind that. And NYSE Texas, to me, really represents real progress in creating this business community that becomes very sustainable for the state. So businesses can come there, they can be successful, they can do expansions there, all the while creating jobs for Texans, which that's what's going to grow the communities in the state.
Daniel spoke further to the growth of Texas's economy, noting that having NYSE Texas on the ground helps signal to the state's business community that there's still a lot more growth to come. Check it out.
I think your average Texan is very proud of how the state has grown and established itself as a real leader in the nation. So Texas has led the nation in job creation for several years now. And I think Texans are aware of that, but only to the extent that they have a good job. They're providing for their family. They're doing the things that they want to do. The ability to see NYSE Texas on the ground and operating, I think signals to a lot of Texans there's still more growth. Sure. We can still do more with what we've done. And I think for a lot of people, their goals are starting to be completed. And I mean, it's hard to not feel good about a situation when you've completed your goal.
Later, Daniel dove into the diversity of businesses in the state, from banks and automakers to data centers and manufacturing, and how the business community, in conjunction with the Texas government, has helped the state succeed economically. Here's what else he had to say.
When you look at the Texas economy of today, we build Toyota Tundras, we build Chevy Tahoes, we've got opportunities to have world-class products. We've got computing companies that are huge. We've got cutting-edge technology. We've got every bank the United States probably has some kind of branch or interest in Texas. And so I think the business community diversified, the government diversified the economy, and what we end up with is this much better economy for the state.
Thank you to Brian Daniel, president of NYSE Texas, and Lance Glynn. You can tune in each week for new episodes of the Inside the Ice House podcast. You can watch and listen wherever you get your podcasts and by scanning the QR code on the screen.